Welcome back to my channel Coin Wealth USA Blowing Treasures. You might be holding on to a fortune and not even know it because today, we're diving deep, and I mean really deep, into one of the most iconic, mysterious, and incredibly valuable coins in American history. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1974 Liberty Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it looks like your everyday quarter. You might find one jingling at the bottom of a change jar, tucked away in a dusty drawer, or even forgotten inside your car's coin compartment. But what if I told you that one of these quarters, minted in 1974, is now valued at an astonishing $143 million in the collector's market? That's right. $143 million for a 25-cent coin. Get ready, because this is a story of rare minting errors, hidden history, and a legacy that turns ordinary into extraordinary. Make sure you stick around till the end, because this isn't just a story, it's a hunt. And maybe, just maybe, your next quarter is a treasure in disguise. To understand the value of the 1974 Liberty Quarter, we need to first step back, way back into American coin history. The quarter dollar, as a denomination, was first introduced in 1796. Since then, the design has changed several times, but the core idea has remained the same: a powerful symbol of American values, democracy, and strength. The word, liberty, has always been a central theme in U.S. coins, a representation of freedom, justice, and the enduring spirit of the nation. And in 1974, that tradition continued with a coin that would become the subject of intense fascination, mystery, and ultimately, legend. On the obverse side of the 1974 Liberty Quarter, you'll find the iconic profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. His strong, noble image has graced the quarter since 1932, celebrating the bicentennial of his birth. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions, and of course, the date. 1974. Stamped clearly at the bottom. Flip it over, and the reverse side features the majestic bald eagle, wings spread, holding arrows of defense and an olive branch of peace. It's classic. It's patriotic. It's powerful. But hidden in some of these 1974 quarters was something rare. Something special. Something that would one day make headlines around the world. Now, not all quarters are created equal. Some 1974 Liberty quarters were struck with minting errors, subtle anomalies that only seasoned collectors could recognize. These include double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, and they are worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars on their own. But then, there's the coin. The one that sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $143 million. Legend has it that this particular coin was struck on a pure silver planchet, instead of the standard copper nickel clad. This would have been a major error, and potentially a test strike, never meant to leave the U.S. Mint. But somehow it did. And when collectors got wind of it, the bidding wars began. This coin's uniqueness, its mystery, and its flawless condition catapulted it into a realm of value almost no other coin has ever reached. Millions, yes, millions of 1974 quarters were struck and released into circulation. Most were used in daily transactions, spent at diners, grocery stores, laundromats, vending machines. They passed through thousands of hands over decades. But among those millions, a few rare anomalies slipped through the cracks. Over time, most of those coins were lost, damaged, or melted down. But a select few survived. And one of them, a pristine, uncirculated, perfect era coin, ended up in the hands of a private collector who, years later, sold it for $143 million to an anonymous buyer. Yes, that happened, which means the hunt is real. Somewhere, in an old coin collection, in a dusty attic, in a forgotten drawer, there could be another 1974 Liberty Quarter worth a fortune. Let's break it down. A standard 1974 Liberty Quarter in average circulated condition is worth about 25 cents. In mint state, it might fetch between $5 and $20, depending on the quality. But if you happen to have a rare variant, especially one with a double die or off-metal strike, the value can skyrocket into thousands of dollars. But the Holy Grail? That legendary silver-struck, flawless era quarter? That's the one that went for $143 million at a private auction. It wasn't just the coin's rarity. It was its mythic status, the story behind it, the flawless preservation, the mystery of its origins. Today, that coin sits in a secured vault, part of a private collection known only to a handful of people. But its existence continues to inspire treasure hunters, collectors, and history lovers alike. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1974 Liberty Quarter is one of the valuable ones? Look for these key features. Mint mark. Check if your coin has AD or no mint marks. San Francisco proofs are especially rare. Metal content. Rare silver strikes will feel slightly heavier. Weigh your coin. A standard clad quarter weighs grams. Silver versions weigh more. Color and toned silver coins have a different luster than clad ones. If it looks different, it might be different. Errors and varieties. Look for signs of double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned edges. Condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with no scratches, wear, or damage are top-tier finds. If you think you've got something special, don't clean it. Take it to a professional coin grader or trusted numismatist. And who knows, maybe you're holding the next $143 million quarter in your hand right now. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, the idea that history, value, and hidden treasure can be found in something so small, so common, and so easily overlooked. The 1974 Liberty Quarter dollar is a powerful reminder that fortune can lie in the everyday, and that the greatest treasures sometimes come in the smallest packages. So what are you waiting for? Check your coin jars. Dig through that old change. Ask your grandparents. Who knows what you might find? If you enjoyed this story and want more incredible coin discoveries, rare finds, and untold numismatic legends, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment if you've ever come across a 1974 Liberty Quarter or any other rare coin and tell us your story. You might just inspire someone else to look a little closer. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that many of us have seen, maybe even spent without thinking twice. But what if I told you this seemingly ordinary piece of pocket change could be worth a jaw-dropping $354 million in the collector's world? Yes, you heard me right. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of time to uncover the hidden legacy, mysterious minting secrets, and shocking market value of the 1991 Liberty Quarter dollar, a coin from the United States that has set collectors' hearts racing and the numismatic community buzzing. So grab a seat, subscribe if you haven't already, and prepare to be blown away as we explore the legend, the legacy, and the unbelievable value of this iconic American coin. Let's begin with what your eyes first see: design. On the obverse side of the 1991 Liberty Quarter, we have the familiar and enduring profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This portrait, originally sculpted by John Flanagan symbolizes leadership, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a nation that emerged from revolution to become a global power. But look closer, that modest gaze. The sharp engraving of the word liberty. The subtle "In God We Trust" carved on the left. These aren't just inscriptions, they're echoes of the American soul. And nestled right beneath Washington's portrait, you'll find a small but crucial marking, the D mint mark, which tells us that this particular coin was minted at the legendary Denver Mint. Flip it over and you'll find the soaring American eagle, wings stretched wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend freedom. Beneath the eagle rest olive branches, representing peace. This balance of war and peace, power and wisdom, makes the reverse of the quarter a miniature work of art. This is not just pocket change, my friends. This is America's story in silver and copper. The United States was standing on the brink of a new world order. The Cold War was ending. The Soviet Union was collapsing. Operation Desert Storm had just taken place. Technology was on the rise, and a new global age was dawning. In the midst of all this change, the U.S. Mint quietly released millions of quarters into circulation, among them the now legendary 1991 Liberty Quarter. At the time, it seemed just like any other coin. Just another piece of metal to pay for coffee, snacks, or gas. But unknown to most, Hidden among these coins were a few incredibly rare and special pieces. Quarters that, due to minting errors, metal variations, and historical significance, would later become some of the most sought-after collector items in the world. Of the millions of 1991 D Liberty quarters minted, a handful had unique anomalies. Some were double-struck. Others had off-center images. A few were stamped on the wrong planchet. And some were struck using transitional metals, meaning they were created with metal compositions no longer standard after 1991. These so-called error coins were incredibly rare. But rarity alone isn't enough to skyrocket a coin's value. What made these quarters explode in the market was the combination of three things: rarity, historical context, and pristine condition. Coins that came straight from mint rolls, never touched by human hands, perfectly preserved, graded as by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Those coins became gold mines. Literal treasures. And some of them? They sold for hundreds of thousands. One particular 1991 D Liberty quarter sold in a private auction for a staggering $354 million. Yes, $354 million. That's not a typo. It's a coin that could change lives. And it all started as change in someone's pocket. Now let's get into the real question. Why is this coin worth more than some mansions, yachts, or even entire islands? Several factors come into play. First, historical relevance. This coin represents a bridge between eras: the Cold War to post-Cold War, analog to digital, old world to new world. Second, mint condition and rarity. A regular circulated quarter from 1991 D might fetch you cents, maybe $1 or $2 if it's lightly worn. But a flawless, untouched, MS coin with verified errors or transitional metals? That's a unicorn in the numismatic world. Third, collector frenzy and market hype. Once news of million-dollar quarters hit the scene, the demand exploded. Everyone started searching through their jars, drawers, and old coin rolls. The scarcity became even more pronounced. And finally, auction drama. A single high-stakes auction can catapult a coin's value beyond belief. Rich collectors, museums, and history buffs have paid fortunes to add such a piece to their private collection. The result? An unassuming little coin becoming a multi-million-dollar marvel. You're probably wondering right now, could I have a $354 million quarter in my home? First, flip the coin and check for the mint mark under Washington's ponytail. Look at the surface. Is it shiny? Pristine? Free from scratches? Take a magnifying glass and look for any errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, weak or missing elements. Weigh the coin. Anomalies in weight can signal planchet errors, and most importantly, have it graded by a professional. PCGS or NGC will give you an official rating and certificate of authenticity. If you find one of these rare errors in mint state condition, you might just be sitting on a fortune. As of now, the highest recorded value of the rarest 1991 D Liberty quarter stands at an eye-popping $354 million. But even common examples in near-perfect condition are worth hundreds to thousands. Coin shows, online auctions, and private dealers continue to hunt for these gems. Collectors with deep pockets and deeper passion are always on the lookout. It's not just a quarter, Anna Marie, it's a piece of art, a slice of history, and a ticket to the upper echelon of coin collecting. So next time you pick up a quarter, don't just toss it into the vending machine. Examine it. Treasure it. You might just be holding a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. So there you have it, folks. The legendary 1991 D Liberty quarter dollar coin that reminds us that even the smallest things in life can hold the greatest value. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a treasure hunting episode. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story of your own. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your pockets full of possibility. You never know when a coin might change your life forever. Stay curious. Stay collecting. And as always, happy hunting. Today, because sitting quietly in pockets, drawers, old jars, and maybe even your own collection, lies a coin that might just be one of the most undervalued and overlooked pieces in modern American numismatics. I'm talking about none other than the 1993 P Liberty quarter dollar, a coin that could be worth hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions depending on condition, rarity, and a few fascinating quirks. We're going to dive deep into. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through American history, hidden value, and one of the most talked about coins in collector circles today. Now, let's start with the basics. The 1993 P. Liberty Quarter, officially known as the Washington Quarter, was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the small but significant P mark on the obverse, or head side, of the coin. This mint mark tells us not only where the coin was produced but also connects it to a fascinating moment in the story of American coinage. Let's roll the clock back a bit. The Washington Quarter series began way back in 1932, issued to commemorate the anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design that graces the front of the coin, Washington's profile, was crafted by John Flanagan, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coin faces in U.S. history. It remained relatively unchanged for decades, becoming a trusted symbol of liberty, strength, and American pride. By 1993, this coin had already been circulating for over years, but this particular year is special not because of a major design change or an official commemorative event, but because of the subtle anomalies, the surprisingly low quality of certain batches, and the growing collector interest that has turned this seemingly common coin into a treasure worth hunting. Millions of these quarters were minted, over 639 million, to be exact. And to the untrained eye, it might seem like nothing special. But here's where things get really interesting. Some versions of this coin, especially those in uncirculated, mint state condition, and even more so in rare proof-like or error varieties, have been fetching eye-popping prices on the collector's market. One in pristine, gem-quality condition recently sold for an astonishing $255,000. That's right, $255,000 for a quarter. A coin that you might still find in circulation today. So why the massive value jump? What makes this coin worth such a fortune? Let's break it down. First, rarity and condition. Although hundreds of millions were minted, very few were preserved in top-grade condition. Most coins entered circulation immediately, getting scratched, worn down, and tarnished over the years. But a small handful, often those found in Federal Reserve vaults or hoarded unknowingly by collectors, survived in mint state condition, with sharp details, clean surfaces, and original luster. These are the coins that command top dollar. Then, we have error varieties. Some 1993 P quarters were struck with off-center designs, double dies, missing layers, or even on the wrong planchets, all rare minting mistakes that make collectors go wild. A double die obverse, for instance, shows slight doubling of the inscriptions like or Liberty. To a casual viewer, it might look like a minor flaw. To a serious numismatist, it could mean tens of thousands in value. Let's not forget about historical context. The early one were a time of transition and experimentation in the U.S. Mint. New technologies were being introduced. The state quarter program was on the horizon, set to launch just 6 years later in 1999. There were fluctuations in metal sourcing, coin planchet supplies, and even employee changes at the Philadelphia Mint, all factors that may have contributed to inconsistency and the presence of these valuable anomalies. And now, we arrive at the current collector market, a wild, unpredictable, yet incredibly exciting world. In 2025, the 1993 P. Liberty Quarter is no longer just a common coin. It's become a legend in the making. Online auctions, coin forums, and numismatic shows are buzzing with rumors and real sales of quarters fetching 5, 6, even 7-figure prices depending on rarity, condition, and authentication. Some collectors speculate that only a few hundred high-grade specimens remain in existence. Others believe there are still thousands out there, sitting undetected in old collections, bank rolls, or forgotten coin jars. And the best part, this coin could be hiding anywhere. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need curiosity, a sharp eye, and a little bit of luck. Check your change, your old drawers, your grandparents' collections, because one of those worn-down quarters might just be a treasure waiting to be discovered. Now, if you happen to find a 1993 P quarter in your possession, what should you do first? Handle it carefully. Do not clean it ever. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Use soft cotton gloves if possible, and store it in a safe, airtight holder. Next, check for signs of rarity. Is the strike crisp? Are there any oddities in the text or imagery? Does the coin seem unusually shiny or proof-like? Is there any doubling, discoloration, or edge flaws? Then, consider getting it professionally graded. Reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a certified value that can drastically increase your chances of getting top dollar if you ever decide to sell. In conclusion, the 1993 P Liberty quarter dollar is more than just a coin, it's a slice of American history, a symbol of hidden value, and perhaps most excitingly, a real chance for ordinary people to strike it rich with nothing more than a little knowledge and a lot of heart. So, the next time you get change at the grocery store or spot a quarter on the sidewalk, take a closer look. Because that little piece of metal might just be worth far more than 25 cents. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting stories, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across a 1993 P quarter, especially if you think it might be one of the rare ones. Until next time, happy hunting, and may the coins be ever in your favor.